Hi guys, FrostFangs here, welcome back once again, of course, to another Paladins video, and we're playing some Grover today with my singular build that I have for him, although we will be using a few different playstyles. We'll be using probably all three of the talents, but maybe just two of them, because Deep Root's got nerfed a little bit, we've got Ferocity, Rampant, Blooming, and all of those now I just run with one singular build, which is kind of the point of the video. I used to have 3 or 4 different ones and I've just simplified it down to one, and I'd argue quite easily that this one setup works better for Rampant, Blooming, Ferocity and Deep Roots than the default setups, which are very common for Grover. So instead of using these, I'd recommend you just go ahead, build this and run it with whatever playstyle you're going to go for. Obviously, it's my recommendation for the way I play, could be different for you. So we've got cooldown reduction, damage reduction, radius on the Q and the passive, and then reset on the Q and a tiny bit of reset whenever you get in a limb. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say it's the most perfect build for everybody and every situation ever. If you were going to try hard and you wanted to be super serious about it, you'd make 6 different setups for very specific sort of situations, because it does obviously depend on the teams, the maps and the way that you're going to play. But instead, what I'm specifically trying to say is that for me, I just run this one, it works fine. I used to have variants, but the difference is pretty minimal, and even then you might not necessarily make the right choice all the time. If you wanted to, you can make variants of it, but for me, I just grab that Rampant, Blooming, Frosty or Deep Roots and it works out great, because overall it is just very well rounded and you can't really go wrong with it. That's what I'm trying to get across. I'd recommend you give it a go. You might like it, you might not. Let's just go ahead, jump into game 1 and show it off a bit. The other thing I wanted to mention, after all the changes that he's had to his different turns, I feel like they're all pretty much even. If you want heals, you want range damage, or you want CC, I feel like they're all actually around the same level of strength. Obviously, depending on the situation, one might be better than the other, but none of them feel particularly overpowered, whereas Deep Roots for the longest time was really good. The heal one was really bad. They've all kind of equalized. I feel like Evil Mojo has done a surprisingly good job at balancing Grover's own sort of stuff, although some of his cards are completely dead. A lot of his cards suck. Anyway, we've got on top of my Jets Archives. I feel like I've been talking a ton in the intro today. We've got Sati, Pip, Azan, and Zin, and we're up against another Sati, a Corvus, a BK, a Cassie, and, of course, another Azan. Definitely wouldn't say the nerfs affected his play rate. He's still picked a ton, although he definitely is slightly weaker. We'll go for Ferocity in this one, just to maybe play the long range areas a little bit. Kind of want to pick Frosty because it's been so long. I think the last video was Rampant Blooming. We have a Pip here, don't really need to go for it, and we've also got Azan with his self-sustain, so I guess we'll go Ferocity. Deep Roots would also probably be pretty good, but they don't really have much movement, so I guess we'll just go Frosty. And then the setup, and we'll start with Kronos and... do we go for Nimble? Kronos or Morale Booster, both probably really safe, especially now that you can cancel your ult. They did nerf it a little bit, so you can't just spam it and get like most of it back. I think there is a little bit of a different setup with it now. Improvised Yomi, Catalyst, Persistence, just run towards the middle a little bit. Dark Gift, Improvised Toro Subjects, Impulse, and Temperament. I am very rusty, just my aim is all over the place right now. I don't feel like I can actually move my mouse properly. Obviously I want to stay a little bit further back to get the benefit from the talent, but if I stay too far away I'm not really doing anything. I don't know what Azan's doing. There's a Q for him. Hello, Sati. There's a couple hits. I'm just dead here unless we can get away. The F was atrocious. Positioning was garbage, but I was trying to help out the Azan, who was just doing nothing. We'll grab more Kronos. Yeah, he does have the little icon, so we know for sure he's not here. There's a Q. That's the Sati ulting. There's a little hit or two on the Kronos. No, that is not a Kronos. It's a Corvus. So goddamn all over the place when I start these videos. We're going to go for the ult just to push up here. Not die to the BK a bit. There's some hits for him. There's a Q. Should be dead here, right? Sati's spamming the coin. Zin's moving around kind of mad. We'll F across a bit. Bot's taken over, so at least it's doing something. There's a Q. Honestly, we could still win this even with the bot. There's some 700s. He's just doing some moves on the right side. BK's on left. And never mind what am I talking about. I thought it was somebody else. There we go. He's gone. Very weird players. Some hits on the Azan. He's gone as well. There's the Q. We do have a tiny bit of 10% reset. Sati is, oh my god, out. If I'd have just landed that properly, but I missed the goddamn axe. Never mind. She still did anyway. She tried to escape through the door. Sati ulted. Pulled myself left. See if we can get rid of her here. Give the Sati a hand. There we go. Nice. We're actually going to win this with a bot. Some more hits on him. There's some 600s. I don't know how much of a difference Frosty's making at this range. When we hit the Cassie, it's 700, which is quite a bit more than it would be, I think, normally. We'll go for the ult, wiggle over towards the Zin. I was just about to cancel it, but he's okay. Getting rid of the Cassie. That's another team wipe. I feel like Sati and Zin are doing a good enough job here where Azan being a bot doesn't even matter. Frosty really hasn't made that much of a difference, though, because I've not been able to play very far away. I'm having to be very involved. There is the Q, BK stun. I think we are out of range of that, even on the point. There's a little hit for him. Pull away. Dead. Absolutely terrible. Zin just spamming contest the objective as if I'm somehow meant to be able to do that more than I already am. I've been playing it a ton. Went ahead and finished off our Nimble just to be as speedy as we can be. There's some hits on the Corvus. I'm expecting him to juke normally, but he's moving going really weird. There's a Q. There are some axes downrange a little bit. There's another hit for the Corvus. I remember Frosty being way better than this, but his damage is the same as it's always been, so I don't know why I'm noticing any difference. It should be the same. There's a little hit for him. We're just going to make sure we don't die to the Sati. BK is going to detonate down there and kill me. I don't feel like that's very fair, but okay. Again, though, seems like the Zin, Pip, and, you know, Sati are doing enough where it doesn't even matter that I'm not doing particularly great. There's some hits for the Corvus downrange. We can only 3-tap him. Heals definitely haven't been great in this one. There's an 800. There's a 600. There's a 700. BK is pushing on the side. We're going to pull towards the middle, maybe finish off the Azan. My accuracy is so bad. There's a 2-hit. There's a Q. Actually managed to animation cancel a little bit weirdly there. Don't know how I didn't die. Double tap again for the Sati. 600. Can we finish? There we go. Nice. I think I actually did all the damage there, or most of it. There's a cripple. Another hit. I think Corvus is dead here. We'll go for the ult to save ourselves. We'll deactivate that, save a bit of the percentage. We'll F up. There we go, she's gone. There's a Q. Having a hard time staying on the point, but I feel like I'm actually not doing terribly. I'm playing more of a hybrid than I was expecting to, but it's kind of working out. Zim pushed way too deep there. We'll just stay in the corner for the range heal. There's a Q. Sati's just spamming that coin. Pip went for you. Got rid of 2 of them. Nice. Sati's going for hers. I should just hold left click. There's no reason not to. The PK is very close to being gone. I'm missing by such a tiny amount because I'm not used to Grover. But again, doesn't really matter because the team is just putting in so much goddamn work. With 350 to 210 and we've had a man down. Do I push in here? Play super aggro? Yeah, sure. There's a triple tap. I very nearly died for that, but we still managed to handle the Cassie. Proud of myself a little bit. There's a double hit for the Corvus. We'll just dodge the Sati a bit. Do we ult? Yeah, sure, we'll ult and push towards the middle, heal up the Azan a bit. There's a double tap, single tap, whatever, heal, we're fine. This is very messy. BK's going for the ult, we'll kind of go around a bit. There's a Q, he's just jumping the Sati, but that's fine. That's in ulting, but he missed. There's 2 or 3 hits on the Corvus, he's dead. And there we go, there is the victory. Don't know why that screen flicker still happens, but yeah, 400 to like 250. I'm surprised we won it by as much as we did, but the team was doing a good job. Our Azan was a bot, but was still doing fine, I guess. And yeah, there you go. There are the stats. We did surprisingly decent there. I didn't think I'd have 55k damage, which beat out the Zin and the Pip, and we also healed 48k. Overall, we did pretty good there. Shoutouts to that is their Sati and also our Sati. Yeah, weird game 1. We'll jump into a siege for the second one. We got Bazaar, which would be a good situation for Ferocity, so maybe we'll grab that again and try and play down range a bit more than we did in the first one, because that map's a bit limited. Saying that though, I am going to have to go for Rampant Blooming here to try and heal for as much as possible, because we've got an Azan, we've got an Ashe, Emoji no Tyra, not really space for damage or CC for their side. They've got a Cassie, a Ruckus, a Genos, a Ray, and an IO. So they have triple support, then a tank and a damage. I still think going for the heals appears the safest choice. Power Cosm is going to be kind of annoying. We will go for Kronos and maybe Resilience. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is a bit of a weird one. I think the heal setup is the best option, just in case this does go the full distance. That Rampant Blooming over the course of the game will add up to our stat, but Deep Roots and Ferocity would have both also been fine. I don't know what the plan is here, but I'm just going to stick in with the team. Frame rate dip is atrocious sometimes when you look towards the middle of this map and there's so much going on. Pretty juicy route. We'll F over. You can still do that. I thought that was fixed. I didn't even do that intentionally. I just was trying to get like a kind of curve. Okay, you can still do the F thing. I thought that was completely fixed. Extra range sort of on the axe projectile is really nice. Not range, it's the wrong word. There is a route. I'm going to just F myself back up here so I'm not in the middle of everything. Azan's dead. Ashe is dead. I thought we were kind of winning that one, but I think our damage started to really drop off. I was definitely underestimating how much of a buff we were getting from Ferocity in the first game, because I didn't realize Grover's damage was as low as it is. We were dealing at 500 or 600, whereas in the other one, in that same range, we would have dealt like 7 or 8, I reckon. Don't know what's going on with Emoji. She is here, but she's playing kind of weird. We're just lacking damage right now. I feel like tank and healing wise, we're doing fine, but we're not really killing them enough. I did try an ult there. I don't know why Emoji's going so deep, but maybe it will work. Grip from him nearly got me killed, but we're fine. Get rid of the IO here if we can. She's dead. There's the Q. There's no way we're going to hold this. I'm just going to save myself a death, to be honest. It's going to be a 0-2 hit regardless of what I do. 100% here. The reason we're losing is because of Cauterize and our lack of damage. I really don't know why everybody isn't just going full on Cauterize. We have Tyra who's grabbing Life Rip even though she has built-in Life Rip, and Death Hands. Emoji is going for Kill to Heal, Nimble, and Kronos. Ashe is going for Rejuvenate, which is kind of understandable. Then another one which is terrible, Azan going for Haven and Life Rip. Yeah, really don't know what's going on here. I feel like Moji, Azan, and Tara should just focus on finishing off Cauterize. I probably should have gone for it too, to be honest, but I was hoping the team would have that handled and I could just focus on heals. There goes the Genos. Maybe we'll still be able to win this. Obviously, the later the game goes, the worse that team comp's going to get, or the easier we counter it. Same thing. That's the IO ulting the Ruckus. There's more hits on. I'm having to play here like a goddamn flanker to possibly win this team fight. Cassie's just getting a couple cheeky jump shots. There's a hit. I'm going to go for the ult to try and keep myself alive. Ruckus is on nothing. Team, can we just get rid of this Cassie for once, please? There's a Q. Hits on the Yeah, Generals, that worked. Okay, do I go for the F? I don't know. We'll just throw over some 500 or 600s for her. That's the objective captured. We got it. Nearly finished her off too. Ruckus there at the back. I guess maybe they got lucky the first round with their like timing of stuff. We could definitely still win this. I'm not saying necessarily like a great team, but my team item wise is making really bad decisions. Don't want to take it too seriously though, because this is just a casual siege. I'm nearly dead to the IO there. Passive heal keeping my ass alive. We'll use the Q in a sec. We'll get kind of close a little bit so we can hit the Moji too. I think that worked. We're actually coordinating a little bit better and they're coordinating a little bit worse. This is kind of working out. The talent was definitely the right choice though, for sure. I just wish we were countering them a little bit more with the cauterized stuff. There's a Q. Azon is pretty much dead. I was just about to ult, but it would have been a waste. That's IO ulting. But we're fine. We'll go for our ult here because they're all very, very grouped. Okay, back up to full. We'll cancel it early, get some of our percentage back. There's a Q. More 600s. Yeah, Frosty made a bigger difference than I realized in the first one. There's a Q. So we're dealing like, I think, 800 at that sort of range with the talent. There's a complete miss of everything on the goddamn Generals. I don't know how that worked. I feel like I should have landed a bunch of those, but I guess not. Ruckus ulted. Tyra just decided to try and duel the Ruckus who'd popped his ult, so she's dead. I was going to be able to heal through that. Moji's gone. Cassie's on the left side. The Zon's pushing in here, which is a pretty bad decision. He's trying to focus Generals for some reason. He's not the only healer they've got. They've got 3, but okay, we're going to F away. Range on that. Somehow managed to let me grab it. Okay, Ash is the only one left. I'm not going to push in, try and give her a hand, because she's dead here any second. She actually went for the ultimate, never mind. Bit of a waste of it, to be honest, but okay, maybe that'll work out for us. I don't think so, but we'll see. More hits on Generals and the Ruckus. If I have more damage than anybody on my team, I'm going to be kind of upset. There's a Q. Little hit on her. We'll F over this way. You can definitely still glitch it. I remember reading in the patch that was fixed. It definitely isn't. There's a Q on the Moji. She went for the ult, but I think she's dead here. Maybe she'll be able to get the cookie before, but she used the Q. She's dead. Okay, we're just going to have to retreat, throw some more hits over. There's a Q to heal him up a bit. Some more hits on the Ruckus. I'm just dead as we can get away. Just delaying my death here. There's a Q. There's a double hit. Could go for the ult, but it would be a waste. There is the push forward, of course. 1-3. We managed to get the cap and then push half of it, but then they managed to regain it by, once again, coordinating their stuff. It does seem like Ash and Tyra have got their shit together, though. They've finished off Cauterized, both of them. Props to them. Although Emoji, for some reason, doesn't think Cauterized is important here against a Genos, Ray, and IO, and then a Ruckus and Cassie. Yeah, I really wish Cauterized here was more of a common thing. I feel like everybody grabs Cauterized all the time, but of course, sometimes consider something very, very obvious. People don't grab it. There's just a ton of misses on the IO. I could have probably had that killed if she was a little bit less jukey. There's 2 hits on her. There's a Q. Also just made up the word jukey. We'll go for the ult. Heal her up and cancel it. Get 40% of it back. Bunch of hits there on the IO. She's dead. Definitely the best way to use the ultimate is by filling people back up to full and then cancelling it when you don't need it, so you get as much percentage back as possible. Tyra's dead. Don't know why his arm pushed in so hard. And there we go. There is the defeat. I probably could have most that last round because there had been no reason for me to include it because we just got absolutely stomped. Our Emoji was playing kind of horrendously. I actually did one of the challenges for once unintentionally. 3-6. 42k, 67k. We actually didn't do that bad, surprisingly. I have no idea what matchmaking was doing, putting Moji in that game. 111, 15k is horrendous. Tyra did pretty good though. Ash had a really hard time and so did Azan. Even though I was fully focused on heals, I feel like I shouldn't have been. Theoretically, it was the best option, so we could heal as much as possible with a double tank, but realistically, I think if I tried to carry more as a damage, we would have had a better time. We still would have lost it because they were the better team there overall. I feel like if we had a different flanker, we maybe could have had that. I don't know how we managed to get one of the caps in half the push at one point. Then they, of course, just recovered it. Cauterized was a big problem. Tyra and Ash, props to him for getting it. But then Azan getting it right at the end, Emoji not even thinking to get it. Now makes sense because she was clearly very, very new. Everything we were trying to do worked fine. It was just the team in that second one was struggling a bit. Rampant blooming both surprisingly well. Ferocity also was more noticeable than I realized, and Deep Roots I didn't play with. I could do a game 3, but there's not really much point. You know how Deep Roots works. It's the most common out of the 3. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and end the video here, save my voice a little bit instead of doing a game 3 and just showing you a very similar thing. Again, thanks so much for watching. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see me the next. I'll see you guys all really soon. And as always, stay Frost. Hey.